The Man in the Cloak, Part 3, The Boy Who Didn't Age Right. The moment the dagger touched his skin, everything changed. The boy's fingers tightened around the handle as if something inside him had taken control. The burning sensation on his arm spread instantly, racing through his veins like fire, and then, silence. Not the silence of the forest, not the absence of sound, this was deeper, heavier, the kind of silence that felt like the world itself had been paused. The dark-cloaked man stood just inside the doorway now, closer than ever, watching, waiting. The boy couldn't move, his body was locked in place, his hand gripping the dagger as the symbol on his arm darkened, its lines shifting slightly. As though it were alive, outside, the light-cloaked man remained still, unmoving, not intervening. For the first time, he was not stopping what was happening. The boy's breathing slowed, not by choice, something else was controlling it. The dagger pulsed once in his hand, and suddenly, the world snapped back, sound returned violently, the crackling of fire, the distant voices of villagers, the rush of wind through the trees. The boy collapsed forward, gasping. The dagger slipped from his hand, hitting the ground with a dull, unnatural weight. When he looked up, the doorway was empty, both figures were gone, but something remained. A feeling, a presence, inside him. Days passed, then weeks. At first, the villagers thought the worst had passed. The boy was alive. The figures had not returned, at least, not where anyone else could see them. But something was wrong. It started subtly. The boy stopped speaking entirely, not out of fear, not out of trauma. He simply didn't need to. When people spoke to him, he would look at them, calm, distant, as though he already knew what they were going to say. Sometimes, he reacted before they even finished. Other times, he answered questions no one had asked. The elders noticed. "This is not normal," one of them said quietly. "No," another replied, "it's not human." The mark on his arm had spread further, now reaching up toward his shoulder, its lines darker, more defined. It no longer looked like a scar, it looked like something carved with purpose, something claiming him. But the most unsettling change was time. The other children continued to grow, slowly, naturally, but the boy did not. Seasons passed, the forest shifted from green to gold to barren and back again. Years began to blur, yet the boy remained the same. His face did not age, his height barely changed, only his eyes grew different, colder, older, like he had seen more than anyone should. Whispers spread beyond the village now. Travelers spoke of a place deep in the forest where time felt wrong, where a boy with unmoving years watched from the shadows. Some came to see him, most didn't stay long, because the forest had changed. At night, it no longer felt empty, it felt crowded, not with people, but with something else. Shapes moved between the trees, not clearly, not fully, but always there, watching, and sometimes, following. The disappearances began quietly. A hunter who didn't return, a traveler who vanished along the forest path, a child who wandered too far. No signs of struggle, no bodies, just absence. The villagers stopped going near the marked trees entirely, but the boy, he went there often, standing in the same place where it all began, looking at the tree, the symbol, and sometimes, at nothing, or at least, that's what it looked like, because he wasn't alone. One evening, as the sun dipped low and shadows stretched across the forest floor, the boy stood at the edge of the marked clearing. The air was still, not unnatural this time, just quiet. He tilted his head slightly. "You're here," he said. His voice was calm, steady, from the darkness. Between the trees, a figure stepped forward, the dark-cloaked man, unchanged, unmoving, as if time had never touched him. The boy didn't step back, didn't run. He simply watched. "You're closer now," the boy said. The figure did not respond, but the air grew heavier, the connection between them was stronger. The boy could feel it clearly now, that presence inside him. It wasn't just watching anymore, it was learning, growing, adapting. The dagger appeared in his hand without him reaching for it, the same cold weight, the same dark pull. The boy looked down at it briefly, then back up. "You want me to use it," he said. The cloaked figure tilted its head slightly, a familiar motion, and in that moment, the forest shifted. A gust of wind cut through the trees. The light-cloaked man appeared, faster than before, sharper. He stepped between them instantly, his presence breaking the tension like a blade through water. For the first time, the boy reacted, not with fear, but with frustration. "Why do you keep stopping it?" he asked. The light-cloaked man did not answer, but his stance was clear. He wasn't just protecting the boy anymore, he was holding something back, something growing inside him. The dark-cloaked man took a step forward, and this time, the boy didn't freeze. He stepped forward too, mirroring him. The dagger in his hand pulsed faintly, the mark on his arm burned, and for a brief moment, the space between them felt connected, like two ends of the same force. The light-cloaked man moved instantly, grabbing the boy's arm. The contact was sharp and real. The boy gasped as something inside him recoiled violently. "Not yet," the voice came again, inside his mind, stronger this time, urgent. The boy staggered back, dropping the dagger. The moment it hit the ground, the connection broke. The forest returned to normal. The weight lifted. The dark-cloaked man was gone. The light-cloaked man stepped back slowly, watching him. Then, he disappeared too. The boy stood alone in the clearing, breathing heavily. His eyes shifted toward the tree, toward the symbol. Then, slowly, he turned and began walking back toward the village. But something was different now, not just in him, in everything. Because for the first time, he understood, this wasn't something happening to him, it was something happening through him. And somewhere deep inside, something was beginning to take shape, something that didn't belong to the boy, but was becoming him anyway. Later that night, as he sat alone in his home, staring into the dim light of a dying flame, he noticed something, not in the room, but in the reflection of a small, still bowl of water beside him. He leaned closer, and froze, because the reflection didn't match. He was sitting there, but behind him, two figures stood, one on each side, both cloaked, both watching, and neither of them was leaving. Stay tuned for the next episode.